So, last time that we were here in the Syndicate files, Joseph and Quill met up with Anastasia once again to investigate the workhouses down in Bermondsey. They learnt a great deal, especially that notes had been delivered to these workhouses, notes that were very pivotal to the investigation, one of which being a cipher, one of which being a encrypted letter. Quill decided to head back to the office to decipher this note while Anastasia and Joseph continued. Anastasia, of course, stumbling into someone who recognized them and proceeding to continue to leave a bad taste in their mouth. As the day grew on, the trio retired back to the office, and as night fell, they all head down to Lambeth Docks, where Anastasia, with her charm and persuasion, managed to get all of the steam yarders piss drunk and chloroformed the, I guess you could say, the foreman of the dock, leading the group to begin their investigation as quickly as they could, stumbling across many pouches of Great British shillings and even a couple crates bound from Brandenburg, Prussia, which one of contained about 20 high explosive artillery shells. They made their exit back to the office and decided to stay the night until, of course, morning broke, which, as it dawns on June 19th, what is it you would all like to do?
Quill is just getting straight back to the cipher.
Quill just, as soon as their eyes open, they're just up bolt right out of the bed to the table.
I have a question.
Ask away.
Did Anastasia go home, or did she sleep in the detective place?
Well, I mean, you would have had the option to stay at the detective place in Barter Street, or you could have gone all the way back home. It's your choice.
I'm gonna say she goes all the way back home because she needs to change.
Fair enough. So, Joseph, what are you gonna do when you wake up?
My rat's having another, tantrum on the floor, or
No,
are they relatively calmed down?
they're pretty much all sleeping in. There's a few that are just walking around, just waking up, but it's a relatively calm morning for them.
Very slowly get out of bed to try and leave all of them in the bed.
Stealth
sleeping.
check.
Oh no! Okay, hold on. Okay, that's not horrific, base one. That is a mighty 17.
Okay, the first 4 don't wake up.
There's 24. You rolling for each of them?
The next 4 don't wake up. Well, no, because some of them are already awake, so I only have to roll 18.
Okay.
Okay, you're doing good so far. Jesus Christ, none of the rats wake up.
Lovely. I'm the stealthiest of people.
The stealthiest of Singoths.
I'm used to not waking up my rats in the morning when they're not waking me up and swarming all over the floor.
So yeah, you manage to creep out of bed, you sort of tiptoe through, you see Quill hard at work at the desk.
Any milk left?
There would be a couple bottles, yeah.
I'm gonna put the milk in the bowl, but I'm gonna do it at the side so it's quiet as possible.
Okay. So you gently pour out some milk, you just pop the bowl down and just leave it there for when they wake up?
Yeah. Can I also check on Quill to see how he's doing?
Just before we do that, Anastasia,
Yeah?
when you say you're home,
Mm.
where do you mean?
Has Mark just glitched for you?
Oh.
Yeah.
So where?
Okay.
So where is Anastasia's home? Where is Anastasia waking up right now?
That's a really good question, Mark. I'm so happy you asked me that.
Or would she have just gone to a DOS house?
She has a house.
Okay, fair enough.
Not a very good one, but she has a house. She shares it with 4 other people.
Better than modern day Britain.
Not a lot's changed in London, has it?
No, I haven't said where her house is, exactly. So I would say where she gets her main work. So probably why?
Whitechapel, okay?
I mean, didn't you say that's the part of London she knew well, really well?
Yeah, that's the part of London you would know like the back of your hand.
Right, that's where she lives then.
Fair enough. So, as you wake up, what is it you're going to do?
Do I have any more rounds to do? Because I feel like I haven't done any of my rounds since I met the detectives.
Your rounds for the day previously have been covered, but today no one's taking your stuff, so you would have rounds to do.
Okay, so she like gets dressed into like her normal. She says goodbye to the dress,
Okay.
and she just puts on like average milkmaid stuff. And then she goes and does her rounds, which I'm guessing the detective one's her last
Yes.
one. Cool. So she does all of hers.
So you go around and do your rounds. So we'll go back to Joseph and Quill. So go ahead and ask him how he's doing.
Well, you've been at that for a while. Is everything okay?
Jesus Christ, that hurt my ears.
Okay, I'm not sure how well that carried over, so Quill just shushes you.
Have you found something, or are you still just staring emptily at it?
I've cracked the cipher. I'm just translating everything.
What have you got so far?
Artillery in Syndicate lands.
Syndicate lands. That's not foreboding at all.
Did I fuck up on the cipher?
Sounds the wrong translation.
No, I didn't fuck up on the cipher. Where the fuck did you get lands from?
Wait. Oh, wait, no, I fucked up. It's hand.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
I definitely double checked that it was correct.
But gotta ask about GS. Is that supposed to be GD?
Yes, it is. Fuck, I knew.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's meant to be GD. No, it's meant to be GA.
Ah.
Ah.
Gasp.
So, I can't remember. How long was the message?
I linked it, like, in session chat.
Have a quick look, see. If anyone else has any other things they would like to talk, now is the time.
So, while obviously you two toil over this, Anastasia, you make your way through the streets of Whitechapel, ending up through the city and making your last few trips into Holborn, which is where the two detectives are situated. As you slowly but surely you count down the doors until you reach the final one, which is the bright red door of the detective agency.
She kind of like smiles because she knows that she's going to see the two guys that she's been hanging around with for quite a while, and she knocks on the door.
So both Quill and Joseph just hear this and do nothing apparently.
And she just sat.
Quill's doing the cipher. I expect Joseph to get there.
I'm not the best detective, I'll admit. Give me a second.
This grate is getting really heavy.
D&D Beyond's being a pain. Give me a second, please. I've not comprehended what's just happened. Oh, why now? Hold on, I'm just going to reload it. Sorry, say what you've just said again.
I've just knocked at the door.
I'm going to go open the door.
So as you go and open the door, you see a sprightly Anastasia standing there with a milk tray.
Thank you. We're not completely out yet, but much appreciated.
She
Gonna
walks.
try and
She walks past you and puts it down.
take. Just okay.
As you walk in, you see Quill at his desk, just flicking his head between two bits of paper as he's almost writing blind.
Cracked it. Artillery in Syndicate hands. Just spike the hatred. F.
So someone armed someone and then wanted them to use it against someone.
From what I've gathered from the various codes that we've broken, F wants to start some kind of conflict or war.
That's not
You
good.
can have a conflict without heavy artillery. How they're going to use this artillery scares me more. That means they have some artillery cannons, or they're just going to put this in a carriage and crash it. Now, what would you need artillery to take out? The shipyarders were apparently the most armed people around, so it's not as if they needed to take out someone even more heavily armed. So it's either police, big businessman, or something way worse.
Could be anything from warships to fortified fortresses.
We just need to find or figure out what they're trying to hit, and then we can figure out who's trying to hit it and why. It's a bit too obvious to be the Suffolk people, and I'm not sure they could pull this off.
As you're there, obviously talking about the reasons why for war, you hear a much more firmer knock at the door, more.
I don't suppose you're expecting anyone, Quill?
I'm not.
Can I go over and open the door?
Yep, so as you open the door, you see there a beefeater just standing about a couple feet away from the door. Good morning, Mom.
Like nods her head. Good morning, good sir.
I do hope I've come to the right place. Is this the inspector's agency?
It is.
Do you mind if I come in, Mom?
Of course. She steps out the way to let him in.
So he just walks in, he tips his hat to you as he just walks on through. He's like, morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
I guess you're the London famed detectives that I've been informed to talk to.
Only very tired, but go on.
We would like to, well, the Crown, would like to employ your services to sort out a little investigation we can't seem to find ourselves.
We'd be happy to help.
Very often the Crown ever engages with us lower people. It must be unsightly to deal with on your own, I see.
Yes, well, it's certainly caused us all to scratch our heads quite a fair bit. Look, when you get some free time, swing on by the tower. I'll make it easy for you to get in, but just know it's a lot easier to explain there. That's all I'm gonna say.
I see. I'll keep it in mind.
Right, I'll best be off. I was only sent to do a 5-minute request, so I shouldn't stay too long. Good morning, gentlemen. As he then tips his hat and goes to walk out.
Goodbye, sir.
As he passes Anastasia, he's like, morning, Mom.
Morning.
As
Thank you
then he
Go on.
sees himself out and closes the door. What is it you all three going to do now? Obviously, this...
No.
Go for it.
Can I look at case files?
I mean, you
You
can.
look at them. You just don't get anything from them, I don't think. Apart from pictures.
Yeah, I want to look at the pictures of case files.
What are you looking for exactly?
Stuff.
To colour in?
Yeah. Go. Go.
Imagine you break into like a detective office and all of them's like coloured in with the red blood. Just like of who you think did it.
So, are you actually just looking through the case files to look for pictures that you can colour in?
Hang on.
I heard a keyboard.
I mean, Quill can try and teach you to read.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are really high that check.
25.
Yeah.
So, Quill and Joseph, you watch as Anastasia goes over to, obviously, where all the nicely sorted previous case files are, and you see her look through them. You know she can't read, so there must be another reason behind it. As Anastasia, you clock one of them, and you think it's the right one. You pull it down, and you open it up, looking for any picture, and that's when you see a very detailed drawing of you next to a list of all the crimes that you had done.
I take it.
Yeah?
Do I notice that?
It's not hard to miss, but if you want to, you can make a perception check to see how well you notice it.
Which I haven't actually gotten out my dice.
You plank.
I was cracking the code!
It was like a test. It's like, do not turn your papers up until I say start. She was just there, like, one hand on the paper, one hand on a pencil.
23 in the perception.
Yeah, you see Anastasia do this. You see her take down the file, flick through it. You see her face sort of go through a range of different emotions before she just pockets the file.
If she takes it, will we have another copy of it, or is this, like, the only copy we have?
Do you guys keep copies of stuff?
I mean...
Quill. I can imagine Quill keeping
yeah, Quill
copies.
probably would, especially since we live with fucking rats.
Then there would be a copy, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about the rats.
Okay. Ooh, no one.
So, after you've pocketed the file, Anastasia, anything else you're gonna do?
Do I notice that Quill knows?
You look over and you see Quill looking towards you. What sort of expression is Quill wearing?
They're just slightly curious as to what you're doing, but, like, only slightly.
He walks over and acts like nothing. She hasn't done anything.
You know, can I say out of game? This is not helping to disprove the theory that Anastasia is ass.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I will... Oh, you guys aren't ready for what I've got planned.
I'm scared that it's...
That immediately pushes that theory more. just very
So-
slowly.
So, obviously, carry on in character.
What did you want that file for?
Anastasia?
In
Sorry.
character staring.
Sorry. Can you say that again?
What did you want that file for?
Oh, the funny thing is, I want to learn how to read. So it was quite low on the bottom, so I thought I would just pick this one and try and learn the words. It had some words that I knew already, so I thought I would learn how to read.
Insight.
Counter-deception for you, Anastasia.
That was such a good lie as well.
Best pray you roll high enough then.
Can I hear this? Can I incite this?
If you...
Whoa,
Whoa.
that's so mean.
No.
Just let her steal
No,
something.
okay. I have let you steal something, and I was known as the Molly Grey Cop for it.
True.
I'm the only one who hasn't stolen something.
Yet.
Okay, I have my number.
I got 23 on the insight,
I got 26.
but
Oh! So, Quill, as obviously Anastasia says that she wants to read, just sort of thinking, okay, I can help a little, I can help with this.
well, if you ever want my help, let me know.
Thank you. It's much appreciated.
You lucky son of a bitch. Right, so, what's everyone going to do now?
I'm just gonna wait till rats wake up, all of them. I'm just
Okay.
gonna play with the ones that are awake at them, trying to be quiet.
Okay, what's Quill and Anastasia gonna do?
I mean, I finished my round, so I'm free to do whatever.
Yeah, you're just waiting. It's like, come on, guys, when can we go save London? Come on.
Come on, guys, when can I go look at the dirty streets of London again? Woo!
We head down to the Tower of London then?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say wakey wakey to the rats and shake.
As you do, you see, going through each one, you see them all slowly wake up. Obviously, it's a gentle awakening as opposed to sort of more violent ones that they've been put through from like their rat brethren. So they sort of all just wake up. They walk over to the bowl, have their little bit of milk, and just, as a rat would, get ready for the day.
I'm only gonna take 12 in this time. Let some of the other ones wake up.
Okay, so you take the 12 most awake, the 12 most agile.
Only 12 rats on your person.
I know, right? I'm packing light today.
So, you're all gonna head down to the tower?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow, but be quite behind them.
Okay, so you lot can obviously talk in character. I've just got to nip to the loo real quick.
What you doing back there?
Oh, just most people don't want to be associated with a dirty milkmaid, so I keep the distance.
That's something I should know about. What's the stigma with milkmaid?
No, just classes shouldn't mix.
Fair enough. That is quite a popular view as I look up at the windows.
I don't think it. It's just other people, and it brings you more trouble anyway, having a working class and a woman with you.
Working myself, aren't I? I'm not exactly out of that class yet.
True.
Although I do admit I'm not a woman. Just imagine Quill just gently ignoring us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like vibing, looking over the file and the case.
Careful, Quill, you nearly walked into that person.
Do you
He
do
doesn't
anything other
respond.
than work?
Sorry, what are you saying?
Do you do anything other than work? Like, do you actually have fun at all?
This is fun.
I knew you were going to say that. Look, you need to get out in the town a little bit more, because being cooped up in here with your case files and the rats is no way to live.
That's perfectly fine.
The rats
The
are
only
fine.
problem is he lives for working instead of work for a living.
Mm.
When I wake up and I just don't want to get out of bed in the morning, I'll have a little. When he gets up and doesn't want to do anything, he'll go to the fire. He'll try and solve cases without ever leaving. It's actually solve a few.
We're the opposite. I work because I need to live. I don't work, I don't live. Easy as that.
Most of London will agree with you there. And you have Kensington and people of the like, who aren't really workers, more organisers.
I've got businessmen, if you ask me.
Well, they're not quite work, as in Kensington's case, can often lead to them not living.
When you don't do it right,
With
Then
how
again, I guess
cutthroat
you-
that business is, it's probably hard to do it right.
sound like you're speaking from experience, Quill. Have you not always been a clever detective?
Well, I pay attention to the moving of the business world. I would never get into it myself, though.
I'll have to keep that in mind whenever I'm talking to a upper class gentleman. I'll just get you to do it for me. Sounds easier.
Don't get me to do it. They will just turn me away.
It's funny though. You talk to them almost fiercely.
Yes, because I don't like getting looked down on just because they have different body parts.
It's either that or the outfit. One of them sort of sets them off. Smell of rats doesn't help either, but that's my bad.
So, as you all make your way through the streets of the City of London, you do eventually come across the monolith that is the Tower of London in all its infamy and all its prestige. You do see a couple of beefeaters just standing outside, making sure everything's all in order. You do see the one that obviously came to you about however many minutes ago it was. As he clocks you, as he just waves you over.
I'll walk over.
Do too.
I will as well.
Thank God you could all come at such a speedy convenience.
When the crown calls, you don't really have much of a choice, to be honest.
I have to say, we were looking for the best detectives in London, and your name's perked up, so I'd say this is quite a merit for you all. Now, please do follow me.
I follow them with a smile.
So as you all follow him inside to the tower grounds, you see obviously a few soldiers marching about, a few beefeaters walking about. He walks you through towards the main administrative building. As he does, he says, "Now we at the tower like to keep our garrison in check. I'm sure you know that. But something quite recently has been going amiss.
That being?
We've had a few, well, I guess you could say they were supply shortages, if you know what I mean.
So theft.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that." He opens up the door to the building, he lets you all inside. As you walk in, you sit down on a group of 3 chairs next to the wall. As he's, "Right, if you just wait here, I'll get you what I mean." As he walks off to another part. It's about...
And Anastasia stay standing
Yeah,
at the door.
yeah, absolutely. So it's about 5-10 minutes, and then... Oh, go on, Toby.
Can I ask you two? What do you bet they're missing some artillery shells?
I think you
Out of
find
my
me
brain, where else would you get artillery shells? Now suddenly the crown is missing some precious cargo.
Out of game, would there be artillery shells at the Tower of London?
There is a small garrison, like incredibly small garrison at the tower, but obviously you've got other regiments in and around London, so it may be for the tower, it may be for the garrisons, but either way.
Possible, but the shipyard's main business is, well, pirating things from ships.
You reckon a military ship went down? I don't reckon they would challenge it on their own.
After about 10 minutes, you see him come back with a group of papers as he just flicks through them. Now, as much as the Crown doesn't like to admit it, he hands them to Quill. We decided to get a little upgrade to our arsenal. He hands a few more to Joseph. And buy ourselves some piece of equipment from that old Prussia place, as he hands the last few to Anastasia. However, a few of our bits, some artillery, rifles, support equipment, recon gear, have gone missing. Like, it hasn't even been seen entering in through the dock.
Let's see.
We found some artillery shell. Sorry, you say what you're saying first.
I was just going to say, can I split my papers in two and give half of them to Quill and half of them to Joseph?
Yeah, absolutely.
Point me holding them, I can't read them.
Anastasia?
Now, I don't know what you make from these missing manifests, but I hope you can put something together.
Is the Crown aware of the group of people formerly known as the shipyarders?
Considering they live pretty much on Parliament's doorstep, I would say that their suspicions are high. But when we went to investigate yesterday, we couldn't find anything.
Well, we were investigating the shipyarders and we found some artillery shells. We put in a word with Scotland Yard to pick them up.
What time did you investigate by any chance?
It was the quietest point around noon. Obviously, it was quiet on their bit of the dock, so we had a little stroll down. All we saw were just a few crates from Brandenburg, well, specifically Berlin, but other than that, we ain't got anything.
It might have been seen on your way down. They could have hidden it, moved it to a different one temporarily. Were you preparing this investigation at all, or was it a spur of the moment one?
We had been missing equipment for the past couple of weeks, so we thought, let's just take a quiet, friendly jaunt down to Lambeth, see what happens. It must have had some people keeping watch up further the Thames.
Have you had any strange letters or anything appear in the post?
Not as recently. It's all just stuff from going back between the different barracks and Buckingham Palace saying, where's the bloody artillery?
No coded or encoded messages.
None as we're aware of.
Any crates with scratched messages in? Anything not official?
Nothing that we've seen. As I say, we ordered this stuff from Berlin. Apparently it was top of the art. Some needle guns and some obviously modern artillery to replace that old cannon shot they used at Waterloo. But nothing's turned up.
Out of game, does the make of artillery shell in like the missing supplies manifest match the make of artillery shell we found at the shipyarder's territory?
As you flick through the different manifests, you see that there is a few different types, but you do clock that one of the types that is missing is the shells that you found last night.
Lovely. If there were different shells, I'd have been way more confused.
Maybe you should ask Scotland Yard about how much they found. Like I said, we found some artillery at the shipyarder's territory and let them know about it.
Yes, I'll be sure to send one of our boys down to obviously open up this investigation further.
Out of interest, what ship was guarding or transporting all of this supplies?
It was a ranger ship. It was across a few period because they didn't have the stuff with them at the time, so they said we'll give it to you in installments.
Were they protected ships or just running ships?
Oh, they were just normal sailboats, normal steamers. I don't see the need to protect them.
You didn't see the need to protect heavy artillery shells. Okay. I guess you were going for the incognito approach.
Well, I mean, if you think of it this way, if you guard something, then that proves it's highly valuable. But if you don't guard something, it proves that it's worthless.
If it's
Yeah,
still being
it's still a
carried on a
thief.
large steamship,
You're willing to pay the voyage for something, it's obviously more valuable than the well costing you. Therefore, the bigger the boat, and the more advanced the boat, the faster it'll get there and the more it costs. If it was on a steamship, it still would have been highly lootable.
I hadn't thought of it like that. This is why you lot are the brain.
So next time you move something big and valuable and explosive, either protect it with stuff, similar stuff, or simply have a bigger thing protecting nothing nearby. If you saw, say, do you go hunting, sir?
Oh, me personally, no. I don't do that stuff.
I did it a few times when I was a kid, getting used to animals and nature. If you saw a rabbit, which was a bit skinny and weak, and you saw a big, slightly overfed boar, you would always go after the boar because it would feed more. If you have a small ship which doesn't look like it has anything on it, and a big, heavily armed ship, you know there's going to be more valuable stuff on that ship. Yet, it depends on if they're confident enough to go after it. You just sending the rabbit on it's just asking to be eaten. Don't transport things without guarding it, even slightly.
Well, I shall definitely put in a word. As, you know, our empire is overstretched and ever expanding, so we shall make sure to consider that.
Worst case scenario, you could have done it shell by shell, figured out where stuff gets stolen and avoid that point of the sea, or which docks have missing shipments and simply not used them. You would have lost maybe 4 out of 20 instead of all.
I thank you for your very good analysis.
No problem. What else are you missing then? We found one lot of artillery shells.
That's the thing, as I say, we got some rifles, some support equipment, recon equipment, the artillery you know about. Everything else is all in check. It's as if someone wants to start their own private army.
Exactly what's going on. Who and why, we don't know. Quill, do you have any ideas on the why?
well, not sure about the why, other than that this Mr. S is trying to start some kind of international conflict.
I'm sorry, I missed who?
I'ma just show him the 2 notes I've decrypted, which are, the docs
You
are
can-
agreeing. Let me
Right.
just check the Doctor agreeing to our plans, now we must spread the hate abroad, and artillery and Syndicate hands just spike the hatred.
What the... Who the bloody hell's this S character?
That's what we've been trying to figure out.
But since even the Crown doesn't know, I'm slightly concerned they are from aboard themselves. Possibly an enemy country trying to start a war to distract us so they can invade us themselves.
Anastasia, didn't you gather some information on who S was?
I did. Well, we don't know if it's a he or a she, right?
Go on.
Okay. They walk with a cane. They have a European accent. They're relatively new to London, and they're very upper class. So they have power.
Now that sounds like a recipe for disaster if ever I've heard one.
Now it's a fancy man with a cane and a private army.
Out of game,
Mm-hmm.
does Anastasia know what hand they use the cane on?
Their left.
Ooh.
Pen. All I have is a highlighter. That would do. They also use the cane in their left hand.
Wouldn't happen to know any aristocrats using a cane with their left hand, would you, sir?
Well, I know a lot of people who use canes. I don't really take notice into what hands they use, but they're all around Westminster way.
Is there any new people? Relatively new. A few weeks, maybe a month.
God, I don't keep track of people. I'm sorry, sir. I stay within these four walls. I make sure everything's all good.
Are there records of people coming into London?
Not here. You'd be finding them at customs office.
And that's only if they do it legally.
And that's only if they
True, but-
came through here and didn't come through somewhere like Harwich or Portsmouth.
Mm.
A wealthy person needs a decent place to stay, bank to keep their fortune in, or people they trust to keep it and not steal. They had their weapons at the shipyarders, but they weren't arming the shipyarders. So they either have another force or couldn't fully trust them. Where would you get the manpower for a small army, who you could also trust enough to arm them? Unless... Do you know if the drug import has been increased at all? Specifically opium?
Oh god, Dan, that's a question and a half. I wouldn't say it's increased. I'd more just say it's if my best guess, I would say lower potentially.
So lower court, possibly higher increase, they're just being more smart with it. Yang Tao, does that ring a bell in the Crown's ears?
Probably not in the Crown's ears, but I recognise the name.
Do you now?
Oh yeah, walking through Whitechapel every now and again, just hearing his name pop up. I don't know who he is or what he does, but I know he's a person.
Someone was after his business. I'm not sure if I've just figured out why. Oh, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course.
Now, where do you think you'd get a workforce who, number one, loyal to you, two, willing to do very, very violent and stupid things with firearms and explosives, and just would be generally competent?
You aren't referring to the opium addicts, are you?
Now, hear me out. This person's came here recently. It's either fortune from a... so they wouldn't really have a way to use it here unless they're walking around with it, which they would get mugged immediately. So it's not money they have, it has to be something else. They're from aboard. They've somehow not only planned, but actually got a hold of the heavy explosives from the Crown, no less. The shipyarders weren't armed, but they were definitely involved. If those men had rifles, it would be quite intimidating for the rest of London. I reckon we just hit one warehouse almost. There's separate people to keep it at hand, who gets a bit of opium every now and again, or say a chest of shillings. They're trying to expand. They try and take a already running opium den, but the person gives them a little more trouble than they bargained for. I reckon we're just chasing the shadow of a much bigger organization. And one very, very key personess. The opium addicts, you saw how desperate they were. I offered a few shillings and they knocking each other out in the process. Now, if you promise them more opium just to fire a rifle around in a certain direction, they'd do it. You saw how excited they got at a few shillings. Imagine they'd hate when they were high out of their minds and raging at Germans.
Perhaps.
We just need to find where they're getting the drugs. If it is the drugs they're using, if it's just opium, that stuff's everywhere.
Oh.
We've left the milkmaid, 1 second. I'm just gonna walk back in and try and drag you out of the room, Anastasia.
Hold on.
Okay, so Anastasia, you see Joseph walk in, just sort of like politely drag you out to where him and Quirrell have been
Lightly
talking.
drag.
She kind of looks at you and she's like, no?
Have you come across more opium recently?
Why?
None more than usual.
No, it's just the same, really.
Has there been any regulars being more busy? Anyone that's a slight bit more over the edge?
Obviously,
I
go on.
tend not to really look at people that much. You know, keep your eyes on the ground so you don't annoy someone.
Has there been more eyes on you? You've been seen walking around with us. It can't exactly be good for you down there after you've been seen with people like us.
Yeah, I just walk quickly by.
Well, if you were that high up and you were possibly getting a army of let's say, desperate, where would you keep them?
Do you think I would know this because?
You or Quill? You know the people more. Quill knows the business world somehow.
I mean, I would imagine it would be somewhere underground, somewhere quick and easy to access for everyone to know, but hidden enough that authorities wouldn't be alerted straight away.
You said your workhouse had some new machinery. Do you reckon the place which had the machinery before them has been opened up as this new location? They've just shifted the job over to someone else?
Mark,
Yeah.
would I know if any warehouses or slash factories have like shut down or are abandoned?
There are a couple that have gone out of business in the past years, but none recently. So there are some, obviously, in South London, towards the southern parts of London, like on the outskirts, that have been obviously abandoned and shut down.
Now, Mark, out of game, am I like really close, really far, like hot or cold?
I'm not saying a word.
Oh, lovely. I could be very much off derailing everything, but okay.
I mean, I know of a couple factories that closed down, but I wouldn't know for sure if machineries come from them. I mean, I don't go near factories anymore.
When you did work in factories, did you know any that made the metal
Sorry, I worked in a cotton factory.
parts? See. Phil, what about you? Do you know of any abandoned buildings that they might be?
Do I, Mark?
History check.
30.
What?
I
Okay.
got 19 plus 11.
Okay.
So, you know, obviously through a grapevine or through other sources, that it's more like houses and factories in Peckham, Deptford, a few up north, a couple in Bethnal Green, Hackney, places that are more away from the city centre, that house a few abandoned and run-down places.
There any particular of note?
I mean, the ones in the south, obviously Peckham and Deptford, that's where obviously the factories and workhouses would have shut down from. And the ones up north are more just abandoned houses.
Okay. Maybe there's some in Peckham or Deptford, if you want abandoned factories.
Might be worth a look. If not, we'll probably just find a few more unsavory individuals there we can nip in the bud. Give the boys in blue a hand.
Another lead I'd like to look at is to get the manpower of Scotland Yard to bring in the leader of the shipyarders to get a better idea of how they play into all of this.
That's a good point. What happened to the shipyarders after we, after Anastasia brought them down?
Out of game, blue balls.
Shit.
My theatre brain is now singing a song.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you heard Blue Balls and went to sing a song? I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
There's a song from Heathers the Musical.
Oh, okay, say less.
Oh.
I'm not gonna sing it.
So, to answer what happened to
steam yards after obviously you notified Scotland Yard. Your best guess is that they obviously didn't sober up or wake up in time and have thus been put into custody.
Okay.
They've gone to the prison yarders.
Fuck's sake.
Wait, are they the shipyarders or the steam yarders?
I think I accidentally said shipyarders to begin with, but I did note them down as steam yarders.
Oh,
Sorry, I've been saying it wrong this entire time.
me too.
That was probably my bad, a slip of the tongue.
Out of game. Would Anastasia know? Like, has anyone described her what the cane looks like?
No,
Fuck.
but
Seems like a stick with a handle.
No, because I was thinking like if there's a specific design to it, we could go to a cane maker and they would write down the names of their who they need to deliver to.
Now, although no one's actually told you what the cane looks like,
Mhm.
on your rounds this morning,
Okay.
make me a perception check.
Oh, please don't fail me. That's not bad. That's not bad. What was it? Perception.
Yep.
17.
As you were making your way through the north bits of the city, south bit of Finsbury, the person you've been building up in your head, like the person who's been talked about, you think you saw them heading north up towards Hoxton or the Illington.
Okay.
Do with that as you will.
Okay. I totally can remember the names of the street places you just said.
Foxton or the Illington?
Finsbury, Hoxton, and the Illington.
I'm gonna ask someone else to write them down because there ain't no way I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'll pop.
Chief, are you doing it or am I doing it?
We can both do it.
Okay. What was it? Foxbury?
There you go.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Okay, Mark's doing it.
I've got the map up in front of me, so I might as well just do that.
With the massive scroll.
Which one was the one that I was on my rounds on?
So that was as you were obviously you start in Whitechapel and make your way westwards, obviously ending up in Holborn at Barter Street to deliver to the detectives. You obviously on like the district border of the City of London and Finsbury, you would have caught a glimpse of the person that fits this description. I can hear cogs wiring as you're like are just making notes and thinking.
I'm scribbling, basically.
Just rolling, I'll be honest.
Okay. Continue.
Viewing.
Right, so what are the leads that we have on our list to follow right now?
Are you asking me or are you asking your fellow
I'm
players?
just like the party in general.
We can either interrogate the steam yarders, because apparently that was the name. We can try and chase up what happened to the artillery, like how they actually got in the hands of steam yarders. If there
just
was
gonna
anything else that was nicked.
I'm just gonna say, if you guys go up to these steam yarders, I think I should probably not go with you. The last time I was
Makes
there,
sense.
I just chloroformed them.
Either that or we get you like a mask or something to wear.
Would they recognize me as a dirty milkmaid?
When you say they,
The steam.
maybe.
I mean, they were all drunk and one of them was dosed. I'm not sure how much they'll remember.
And I don't have my fan, so therefore I cannot be a
The
whore.
I see it was the fan that did it all.
Yeah. And I am, like, covered in dirt, so.
Like, not once in this campaign is either of us like, I need a shower. Victorian England, it's fine.
Yeah, it's Victorian period.
So we can go interrogate the...
Yeah,
Or we could split the
Oh.
party.
that's always a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah, that's like the best thing to do
Yeah.
ever, isn't it?
That's really annoying, Mark.
Honestly,
Consistently shifting between 3 different locations.
Oh, see, we have a little bit of a problem, because I don't think I'd be let in anywhere unless I had one of you guys with me.
There's also places that we wouldn't really be welcome in, where you can sort of stroll on in.
True.
There's ups and downs to being...
Where are the places that Anastasia would be allowed in by herself, just being a person?
Sorry, what?
Where...
I just blanked for a moment. What? Sorry.
It's okay. What's one of the... where are the places that Anastasia would be allowed in by herself, just as like a person?
It's Victorian England, so pubs,
No.
doss houses, workhouses,
Okay.
obviously docks because they're open anyway. That's probably it, really.
Looking at the leads, is there anywhere Anastasia can go alone?
I mean, so there's like the abandoned workhouses up south.
Up south, yes.
Yeah, thank you for also picking up on that. I was just going to let it go, but that works.
Up is down, people.
You should left
I'll
to go
go
right.
down.
Okay.
I'll go down up south.
So, Anastasia, you're going down up south.
Yeah.
Down to
Down
out.
under.
Lovely.
I come from a
Oh.
land down under.
Oh.
You go to Australia by mistake.
Crikey.
Crikey, mate. So, Anastasia's gonna go down to Peckham and Deptford. Where are you two going?
I'm
There's a
interrogate
steam
the shipyarders.
Okay, so you're going to the yard. Where's Joseph going?
I'm gonna go with them.
Okay, so we're gonna have good cop, good cop. Okay.
Good cop, drunk
Good
cop.
cop, rat cop.
That also works.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not a mole anymore. It's a rat.
So we will.
Yeah, that works.
We'll go with Joseph and Quill as you make your way to, obviously, Scotland Yard. You make your way in, you see the receptionist. They're like, how can I help you today, sir?
Did you
You-
take in the
Go on.
shipyard, the steam yarders?
That we did. Quite a massive find, thanks to your two parts.
It was mainly thanks to Anastasia.
Oh, we'll pass on my thanks to her then.
Could we have a talk with the gang leader?
It's your funeral. He's not in the best state of mind, but I'll get one of the inspectors to set up a meeting with you two.
Second. Could we also talk to the most cowardly of them, because they might be more willing to
Okay, we can sort that out for you if you just want to take a seat for a moment.
Thank you.
So-
lean against one of the walls.
So it's about 15-20 minutes until eventually you see a rather flashy man with a mustache, hair all slicked back, and stereotypical Detective Sherlock cap on as he comes out. Ah, you must be the two inspectors that helped catch this motley crew last night.
You must be the ones that turned up to collect everything.
Well,
I have to say I had a bit of a hand, thanks to you two. We knew what we were walking into.
Did any of them give you trouble? You know, wake up, bit feisty?
A few of them were asking for a bit more to drink, maybe something to take the pain away from their head, but we said a nice bit of time in the cell would do good for them. However, the ringleader was a little more sober than the rest of them. Can't imagine why. Probably takes alcohol better.
How long were they out?
Well, they were out as long as the rest of them. It's just they seem to recover a lot more quickly.
You see. Can I clock that they were the claw-formed one?
yes.
Okay. So that was the leader. Okay.
I have them all ready to interrogate if you want to come with me.
Have you done any investigations yourself with these ones, or no, not yet?
We're letting them sober up first, just so then we can get a proper answer out of them, of course.
Okay.
In the meantime, we've got a couple of boys down at their dock, pillaging what they can.
On the
Good
topic of
finds?
that,
What did both of you say? We'll start with Toby.
Any good finds?
And what did you say, Shiva?
on the topic of that, we've had word from Buckingham Palace that some of the things that have gone missing line up with what we found in the shipyard.
Yes. We have loaded it onto a very, very secure barge to bring across to us. We have it in maximum security at the moment, but we will be transporting it under the cover of darkness tonight.
Don't tell anyone else this, please.
Oh, we never say which time we're going, nor what route we're taking, nor where we're going.
Good. You don't know when people speak to the wrong people, especially with the amount of corrupt people in this city.
Oh yes, yes. Money can take the heart and soul out of someone, I'm sure. Luckily,
Drugs will take the common sense.
a lot of people have that. Although
It goes well.
I do have to say, it is a bit weird that these steam yarders, as they call themselves, knew what to do with a case of artillery and some support equipment along with that.
What equipment? What, like?
Well, stuff like cleaning equipment, tools, basically everything that a regiment would need just to keep itself going. Besides killing the enemy, of course.
Would you say that the steam yarders formed some...
Say that again, sorry?
Would you say they formed some sort of outpost or stronghold?
An outpost, I wouldn't know. I mean, anything's possible. They may have something right at the mouth of the Medway towards Margate. I could not be sure, but to bring stuff into the heart of the Empire itself seems a bit foolish, don't you think?
Caught them by sheer coincidence. We didn't go there looking for artillery. They've been doing it already.
Well, maybe sometimes, as I'm sure you two know, it is the most unlikely chances that prove to be the most likely results. As you say, you stumbled across their dock, you happened to find a case of artillery and support equipment, and we managed to get them all banged to rights.
What have
Well-
we missed other than that? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You were saying, Quill.
If you want to know how the gang was organized enough to steal artillery, I decoded this message that I found in their territory.
A
I'ma
message.
just show him the message. Wherever
What?
fuck I put that.
What?
The
The
artillery and syndicate hand.
Okay, the Enigma cipher. As he looks down, he's like, oh, good lord. Syndicate? Who the fuck are the Syndicate?
Couldn't say.
Well, if I'm going to give you boys any sort of guidance into where your career's going, I'd say the Syndicate is your next best lead.
Yes, we shall just find the syndicate and ask them. Thank you for your advice.
Look, we'll offer as much help as we can give. I cannot guarantee it'll be much, but at least you boys won't be working alone.
It's better than you working against us, I'll be honest.
Now let's get you to this interrogation. Come on.
Lovely. Who are we going for first? The big burly leader or the hopefully rat?
I'd like to talk to the leader.
Okay, we'll do the leader first.
Right, follow me. As he walks you through, takes you past a load of rooms, and he just stands by one of the doors. Now, are you sure you're ready to go in there? He is quite well chained, but still armed to the teeth.
Do you have a baton or anything we could
Say that again, sorry, my Discord decided to die.
do you have a baton or anything we could take in just in case?
I mean, I do not encourage such violence, but I think you lot will be just fine on your own. We
If
have
you were able...
we have a couple constables on standby if anything goes wrong. All you need to do is shout, and they will come running.
If you were able to chain him up, why is he still armed?
He's got a vicious mouth on him. He could talk the hind legs off a donkey, I'd say.
Interesting.
Out of game, Mark, did you mean to be, like, armed to the teeth? Like...
Finally, you got it. Oh.
Fuck's sake.
Hoovering, you would hear all of my giggles, but some myself. I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
Continuing.
Yeah, he's got a right old mouth on him. Could talk the hind legs off a donkey, he could.
You want to go in, Quill?
I'll head in.
Do this then, right before you open the door. Like, good cop, bad cop. Bad cop, good cop, loud cop, quiet cop. What do you want to do?
Hang on, out of game, would good cop, bad cop be a thing in Victorian times?
It would have been called good cop, bad cop. You would have always had a cop that would go in lightly and nice and kind, and then the bad cop in Victorian times would have been, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Well, Quill's strength is 8, so,
Let me check Joseph's. Okay, I have a 14, so we're not horrendously off. However, I do have a 9 in charisma, so...
I have a 4.
You have a what?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, say that again.
I have a 4 in charisma,
Okay.
and 17 hit points.
You are not combat-based, I see. Yeah, my intimidation is a -1, I'm not...
My intimidation's a -3. Consider yourself lucky.
So, I don't know if we'll be able to scare the leader, I'll be honest. Would we be able to just persuade someone we're going to do something bad?
With your charisma stats, you could certainly try.
Persuading
Okay,
someone
fair
that
enough.
you're gonna do something bad. Is that because you have proficiency in persuasion?
No, it's just...
Because that would be intimidation,
been
I
nicer.
think.
Okay, fair enough. I can't even shush you on that one. That just is how it works. So I don't think bad cop is going to do any good. Good cop would end up with us promising things we can't actually keep. I reckon it might be worth talking to the cowardly one to see if there's anything the boss is nervous or scared of that we could bring up.
Yeah, that may be a good idea.
Depends if you want to scout her out a bit more to see if there's anything we could get an advantage. Just want to say.
If we can get the cowardly one to talk, then that will give us an advantage in talking to him, if he's already been ratted out.
Wave at the leader as I walk off, like through the window.
You just see him look, and then look back down.
Which one's the one who can tell us everything?
That one will be down it, as he just walks you down a few doors. Now this one, think of him as a lost puppy. He's quite a bit jumpy.
Okay. You want to go first, Quill, or shall I?
You go first.
I'm gonna open the door, like, very quickly.
As you open
You
it,
there.
he sort of,
You there. Let me guess. You had maybe half a sip and fell down.
I had a little, I don't remember how much I drank, sir.
Sir, sign of respect already. So far so good. You might survive. So, I need you to tell me everything. Absolutely everything.
Everything? About me? About my life? About everything I know?
Very bad choice you've done for the Steamyarders. Or whatever you call yourselves.
Right, well, I can't tell you much about them because I joined pretty recently and, you know, I was struggling with work and he came to me and he was like, I can offer you an opportunity. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. It was only then that I realised that it would involve raiding convoys going up and down the Thames, which, I know it sounds bad, but trust me, there was money made in it. As he put it, it was for good. It was to stop the rich getting rich and the poor getting. It was for the poor, you know, like what's that tale? You know where, yeah, whatever. But look, what do you want to know specifically? I can tell you everything. I can tell you anything.
My insight that he's only started recently.
Go for it.
That is a 7.
Can I insight?
That is a nat 1.
You can certainly try, Quill.
Wait, did he get like a nat 20 plus 10 on the deception?
No.
Or what?
No.
I mean, I guess that he is telling the truth.
He got just a bit higher than Joseph.
Like an 8 or a 9, I know it. Damn it. Okay.
15.
When he says he's just started, that's a little bit of bending the truth a bit.
He just took a wrong turn into their territory as a kid, and has just been too polite to leave ever since.
I really have to go, but it's cold outside. Oh, I really can't stay. It's dangerous out there. Just keeping him there, like it is a lost puppy, to be fair. He was described as a... Mark, how old is this person we're talking to? Like,
You would
old school...
3.
The buffest 3-year-old to be part of the Steamyarders.
You could see that he's about 17, 18 odd.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Parents know you're here?
My parents, well, no, they don't. They think I'm currently working up at Marylebone, but no, I'm not there. That's what I tell them. I implore them to stay away at all costs. I'm trying to help them, you know, just make some money, get us out of the horrible house we're in. We got 2 other families with us. It's quite horrible.
You get yourself your own private cell, if you play your cards right.
As I said, I don't want any trouble. I know what I did was wrong, but I had to do it for the money. You understand? Well, you probably don't understand, but please, just...
The leader. What's the deal with the leader? Any enemies? Any foes?
Well, he's a tough man. He is. He can't be cracked by simple means. You know, think of him as a nut. You know, he can't be cracked with a simple thing like your fist. He has to be put under pressure. But he keeps his calm. I don't know how he does it. I watched him one day. One of the boats came into our harbour, and the crew were like, "We're not giving over this. We're not giving over any of it. This is going to the Royal Armoury." And he just walked up and he was like, "It's coming to us now." And they just failed. I have no idea how he did it, but he's got a gift he has.
So he was the one who took the artillery shells right off the barge. How long ago would you say he did this?
What is the thing I told you about?
Yes. No.
I'd say not. That was actually quite recent. It was about 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Does that line up with the manuscript you had?
Does it?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Stealing from the royal family, that has to be at least a
I didn't know it was.
very long time.
I didn't know it was for them. I thought it was just something that was like coming through, and then we'd sell it off to someone. I didn't know it was for them. Oh God, my parents are never going to
Right
speak.
to the royal armory. Oh, it's just your average Joe.
I swear, I didn't know what we were doing. I had no part in that. Honest to God, I simply stood and watched. But there's been other
They heard
things.
this and still robbed them. That means they're either very confident in their men, or they have someone they believe to be bigger, stronger behind them. Do you have any idea who that could be?
I don't know. I did overhear him talking to someone about this sort of plan, but I didn't stay long enough. I didn't want to intrude or, get beaten to a pulp. I watched him do that once. Someone tried to stand up to him and he put them through the deck and he drowned them with his bare hands. It was something else, but look,
Is there anyone in his crew he cares for specifically?
he cares for his friends, obviously. They keep him safe as much as he keeps them safe.
Right, can you point them out? Tell us any discerning features or names.
They've all got this. What is it? I remember clock it. I think it was they all had something sparkly in their mouth.
Have matching dentists. Amazing.
Can I make a
Well-
history check on what it was? The sparkly thing in their mouth. Like, would I have glanced at it when we were looking around?
Make it with disadvantage.
Yeah. 17.
As you were obviously going around the dock looking at all the crates, you spied a golden tooth gleaming in the moonlight from one of the people who were laying down face up.
Okay. Anyway,
Do
what were you
think
saying,
the
Toby?
lead- I was just going to ask, do you think they would convince the leader to give up some information? How attached is he?
Hang on, are you asking that to Quill or the person we're
Asking that to the
interrogating?
interrogation person.
Oh,
I don't know if Quill would know
Interrogation
anything.
So what was the question again? Sorry.
Do you know how close they were? Do you reckon the leader would give up any information in return?
I know they were pretty close. They used to always
Any
like.
name?
I don't know. I didn't know many names. They just said go with him. I'm not very good with names. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not doing very good at this.
Second. Quill, you can talk to them for a bit. Can I go outside to ask one of the constables?
What are you gonna ask the constable? Sorry.
Did they have the names of everyone, or did they just...
Okay. So as you sort of leave the table, as Quill sits down, you leave. You ask one of the constables. He produces a list of all the people they caught last night.
I asked them to circle any with golden implants, teeth.
Let me put the names in chat.
Okay. For Discord, it should appear round about now.
Hold on, I'm typing them out individually.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Mark. Lots of effort. Thank you. For the people on YouTube, you'll get this instantly. You don't have time.
Yeah, people on YouTube, they'll see like the list circled already.
Bam, round about there, YouTube. I don't know why I pointed. I forgot this is a voice chat.
Voice chat podcast. There you go.
Wait, that was the entire gang?
No, that was just the circled ones.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
There's a
say-
lot
It's
more than
mighty
just that.
gang of 7 people.
There's a lot more than that.
If like a shipment of artillery shells was taken by like 7 people.
I mean, there's been robberies with less, but that was sneaky. Yeah, this is ours. Can I ask the constables if they've done a background check to see if these people have any families?
As you said it, you hear him say, "We tried our best. There's not much to go on, and they're not cracking under anything, unfortunately."
Have you found any families? Any of them?
By the looks of it, they don't want to own up they have families.
Just gonna poke my head in the door and say, Quill, I'm going to... Do you mind taking this one?
Sorry, you cut out.
Quill, do you mind talking to this one? I might want to interrogate some...
You keep cutting out when you say who you're going to go interrogate.
I'm going to interrogate some other people, Quill. I'll be back in a bit. Hold the fort.
Okay, I heard you that time.
Okay, lovely.
So, returning to Quill, sat at the table in front of the skittish little ruffian.
Skittish little shit.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to put it so bluntly, but sure.
How much do you know about F?
About what?
F.
Oh, about it's a letter, that we use. It's also something that it's a sound a snake makes. I remember that.
The person who goes by the alias F.
I don't know. I didn't know there was someone called S. Normally people are given names.
Can I insight it?
Go for it.
Okay, that was probably the most pointless nat 20 of my D&D career.
The kid knows something.
What does he know?
Well, you know he's... You know that he knows something, but you don't know what.
How general is something?
You know that by his deflection, he's probably seen and or spoke to this S before.
Have you spoken to him?
I've spoken to him in passing. He came by one day, and old top of the hat, he took him round. He talked to each one of us. He sort of scared me a little. I thought, oh god, what's happening? And I tell you what, he was quite distinguished. He was. He spoke with very Germanic voice, you know, from that like German land, and he mentioned something about executing a plan when the time was right.
Is that all you know?
That's all that I heard from him. I know it's not much, but it's something.
Okay, thank you. I'ma go ask one of the constables if they can get like one of the professional artists that can like do a drawing of someone from a description.
Okay, so as one of the two goes to fetch him, the other's like, and what will I be asking him to be drawing?
The person who's behind the theft of the Crown's armaments.
I'm guessing they're going to be going off what he says.
Yes,
I'll pass on the message for you, sir.
thank you.
So, who's Toby gone to investigate? Interrogate, even.
The wall.
I also have food here.
Oh, food is good.
I'm going to go speak to Hugo.
Okay, so as you go speak to Hugo, Quill, who are you? What are you going to do now?
I'ma probably just wait for Joseph to be done with whatever he's doing, so we can interrogate the big boy.
Okay, so Joseph, you get a meeting with Hugo. He's a lot bigger than you in both size and muscle. As he just walks up to the bars, what do you want?
Information.
Not gonna
What
get
do you
any.
want?
I want my gang back.
You probably can't go back to where you used to be. You can be a gang in prison. You could be half a gang in prison. You could be a gang in prison with you on the outside, depending on how you play your cards. Or, if you give me the information, you can be a free man, no longer in need of a gang.
And why would I rat on some of my friends?
What makes you think your friends haven't already ratted you out?
I know they wouldn't do that. We're close-knit, we are.
Why?
We're family.
Because of that golden tooth?
That was an accent we all share, but it's what bound us together.
The only thing binding you at the moment is handcuffs, chains.
That's besides the point. You're not going to get anything out of me, nor are you getting anything out of the others.
We already have, sorry. I'm gonna show up the list and say, you see how you're the second one? We've already spoke to Gerald, and we got more than we were expecting, I'll be honest.
Insight. He's going to insight check that.
Fair enough.
How's your, like, -1 deception looking?
Not good. And there's joy on Mark's face, so I'm slightly scared.
Wait, how can you see Mark's face?
Well, I heard his voice, and I'm not too fond of it.
Okay.
What's
me
wrong with
neither.
my voice?
That's a 10!
He got a 21.
Gerald's told us more than we expected.
So, you see him look at the list, and he looks at your face. You don't speak to him, did you? He wouldn't.
No,
rat.
he was a lot bigger than you, so I was slightly scared. You, however, I'm less scared of.
Gerald's always been the biggest one of the lot, and always. He was always Magyar's right-hand man.
Is that a hint of jealousy, I hear?
Hardly. I admire him.
Yet you're willing for him to go to jail, possibly never see the light of day again, possibly get hung, drawn, and quartered. You do know you robbed the royal family, right? Not many gangs survive doing that.
We had our time to celebrate, and now we're going to spend it in places like Dartmoor, Shepton, the Isle of Wight, places like that, so they say.
That's if you live to enjoy it.
Oh,
And believe me, you won't enjoy it.
we'll live to see the birds fly free above us, and we'll be flying with them. I know we will.
Whatever propaganda they've put in your head, I'm sorry for you. I do enjoy the old punishments. I'm slightly sad they got some of them. For example, you said you knew your friends were. Is that because you think lowly of rats?
I despise people who rat on others. It's scummy. It's below the belt. I'd never do it. We'd never do it.
You
anyone who
sure?
does,
Not even if it could save your life.
I'd rather go down and know that my friends are as trusting in me as I was of them.
You want to test this theory?
I put it to the test every single day. What makes this any different?
Let me just warn the constables about some screaming. Can I open the door?
Are
Like
you
to talk to the constables.
So you're opening the door to go speak to the constable, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you open the door, you close it behind you, you walk down to where the constable is. You see the other one arrive with a sketch artist, who then goes into where the little puppy dog was, and he's like, "Everything okay there, sir?"
Threatening one of them just a little bit. There shouldn't be too much damage. Do you happen to have a small torch and a box?
Beg pardon, sir?
Would you happen to have a small torch and a box? Also, there might be a little screaming from down the hall. Just ignore it. Unless it's my screaming, then...
We've sort of been told not to do that sort of thing. The inspector doesn't like it very much, but...
cops will take money to avoid cases, but a little screaming. Too much, I see.
Are you sure it's really gonna get you anywhere with this, sir? I don't expect him to talk.
No, I can't convince him. I'm not exactly the scariest of her. Unless you have anything you could tell me to help me get stuff out of him.
I don't think you're gonna be able to get anything out of him, sir.
Let's talk to the biggest one then. Where's Gerald?
The constable walks you down to the end of the hall, and he opens the window so you can look inside. He is muscular. Even sitting down, you don't have to pivot your head very far to look at him.
Gerald? More of a lad, I see. Damn it, Adam's family wasn't made in Victorian England. Ignore me. More of a grunt, I see. So, I've had a little talk to, what was his name, Hugo.
I'm not talking to you.
Just did, but I'm going to continue anyway.
I am not talking to you.
Then you can shut up and listen and stop interrupting me. Pretty please.
You
I'll
see
take that as you.
you see him turn his head away from the door.
I know you have that golden tooth, apparently from a shared accident. Apparently it unites you, or it used to anyway. You think none of the others would crack. Spoke to Hugo, he didn't give me much, but it was enough. I can tell you've been together since you were very young. Have I missed anything so far?
You see him just continuously staring at the back wall, not even acknowledging what you're saying.
Can I just slam on the table to see if I can get him to react at all?
As you slam on the table, he does look over as to what it was, and seeing you, he then just goes back to looking at the wall.
So you are aware of your surroundings. You're just consistently ignoring me, which is lovely. That means I can say what I want. Aggravating you. Hugo was the same. So, considering you're all so close, does that mean that you all grew up together without a family, or you all unite each other? That little incident, and your merry band of boys.
He still says nothing.
Can I see if he has any tattoos or anything other than the...
His arms are laced with tattoos.
Can I make out any other gang symbols or anything similar?
No, they just all seem to be dragons.
Dragons, eh? Did you have or were you just that into the medieval knights? Can I just a look?
He is adamantly refusing to acknowledge your existence.
Can I get down close to his arm and just start tracing my fingers along the tattoo?
You see his arm flinch as you initially make contact, but then as soon as he knows what he's doing, he just relaxes again.
That golden tooth must have been expensive. Did you get it later on or at the beginning? Can I start tracing his arm along to his shoulders and back?
As you do, you see his head turn round. If you don't get out of this cell, I'll be wanted for one more murder.
Something's going on inside my house. Okay. I think something's happening. Do you want to go to someone else for a sec? There's a lot of loud noises.
Oh dear.
Sorry, hold on.
So obviously Quill, you're waiting for Joseph to finish their round.
We can finally let Aaron do something.
Erin, Anastasia.
Hey!
So sorry it's been so long.
Absolutely fine. I've been enjoying it. It's fine.
So you make your way down to Peckham and Deptford's. Obviously,
Mhm.
the further down you go, the less houses there are, the more sort of open fields, and then you do see a few factories and a few workhouses that are closed, boarded up. But make me a perception check.
Well, I need to get my sheets back out. Ooh. 20. Dirty 20. Pathetic 20.
Oh, wow, okay, doesn't need to be so harsh.
Oh, says the one.
Go on, finish that.
No, don't worry. Don't worry about that.
So, as you sort of look over these sort of half dozen buildings, you notice one of them is far more populated than the others, as though it's been repurposed for a single goal in mind, as there are a load of horses outside, a few carts, some wagons, an extension built on the side.
Can I go straight to that one?
You can make me a dexterity saving throw.
That's the scariest thing you can hear.
Not quite.
I think make an intelligence save is probably the scariest.
Intelligence or wisdom, because then you know something's really gonna happen.
But
Just
intelligence.
a question: is your HP below 100?
Yeah, intelligence saves, they don't come up often, but when they do, it's shit like feeble mind.
25.
Bloody
Okay,
hell. One
so
of these high rolls.
as you get closer to the building, you hear the latch of one of the doors opens. You see it begin to open, and you quickly sidestep so that you angle yourself with the cart as you hear two people walking as they step outside to start smoking a cigarette.
Where am I in relation to them?
You are 10 feet away, hiding behind a cart.
Now, do I do the stupid thing? Or do I do the non-stupid thing?
Well, that's completely your choice.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up to them.
Right, so you walk up to them, you just see them spark up the second cigarette as they're like, looky what we have here. How's a girl like you get so lost down here?
With legs. It's,
Quite a cocky one at that. Smart too, I like that in a woman.
yeah, too bad I don't like you. So,
Oh, now that's kind of mean, isn't it, love? You see the other one just sort of smack the guy on the shoulder, and he's like, the fuck you want?
me or him?
He turns around to the guy that smacked him, he's like, the fuck you want, mate? Sort of fault. As you see the other guy sort of like cower away a little. Now, where were we?
Nowhere.
Well, actually, you're wrong, we're in Peckham, love. So I'm gonna be a smart ass too.
Yeah, just not a good one. Anyway, so I saw that you guys were looking like you're doing stuff in a very abandoned place.
Yeah, it's called restoration, love. Getting these factories back up and running, you know? Keep this heart of the empire going. So
Oh, good.
Yeah, so people like you can slave away for 12 hours a day.
Oh, well, that's very sweet that you have concerns about me.
I don't,
But-
love.
Okay, whatever. So what kind of factory are you building? Looking for a job, of course.
Well, that's none of your concern. We're just still fitting the initial parts. No buyers come along yet, we've just been told to renovate it.
Renovate it without the cause of knowing what's going to be renovated in.
Well, of course, we renovate it so it doesn't look like a fucking shithole. Then buyers come along, they tell us what to put in it, we go and get the machinery, we build it. Is that so hard to understand in your tiny little brain upstairs?
Okay. Sorry, I've got a cramp in my foot. Ow, ow.
Oh, they're painful.
Oh no. Oh no.
I was trying to think of a really good comeback and then pain.
You failed your constitution saving throw. It's an advanced version of Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, I basically just IRL'd vicious mockery, Erin.
It's okay, I'm a dancer, I'm used to this.
Yeah.
Did she take the cigarette out of his mouth?
Yeah?
And she takes a smoke.
You take a puff of it?
That's the word. Puff. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, as you take it out, he sort of looks a bit shocked as then you take a smoke. He's like, luckily I bought some more this morning. Didn't know I'd get thieved by a fucking woman.
Oh. Yeah, we thieve quite a lot. It's just that men like you don't have a big enough brain to see it coming.
Is that some sort of a threat, love? As he starts walking towards you with that macho stance.
How tall is this guy?
Just a bit taller than Anastasia.
Oh, sweetheart. Kind of, like, looks at him as if, like, really? You think you scare me?
Come on then, love. You gonna do anything? Or are you just gonna stand there and smoke your fucking lungs out?
What does he have on him?
You
Like,
can't.
at the moment?
You can't see a lot, but obviously he's got a pouch on his back where obviously he produces cigarettes from. What else that's in there you don't know, but other than that, that's really it on him.
Can I try and steal the pouch?
Sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay, that's still a good roll. That's sleight of hand. Oh, 24.
And that was with disadvantage, yes?
Yes, I have sleight of hand, which is plus 10. So.
Oh, you bastard. Right.
Yes.
So, even against all odds, you do manage
Jesus.
to quickly move your body. He sort of moves out of the way, but it's too slow for you as you just clip the pouch off. He looks like, the fuck you doing? Touching me up like that.
She, like, dangles the pouch from her hand. She's like, see? Never saw it coming.
Give that back.
Or what?
I'll fucking knock you out here. Here, right now.
We're gonna knock a poor defenseless woman to the floor?
Yes.
Oh, do you like the look of her jail cell?
The people I'm under wouldn't even think about putting me in a jail cell. Nor would any cop from the yard ever decide to come down here.
And why is that? Seems quite a bold statement to say.
Because the people who are in there aren't refurbishing it. And I think you've just earned yourself a little visit inside. Please make me an athletics check.
Shit. Okay. No. Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh no.
You're gonna die.
Please
You're gonna
try not to get involved in the next murder we investigate.
die. What if I murder them?
So what did you get?
A natural one.
Do any modifiers?
A 0?
Oh.
So, as he says that, he grabs your arm that's got the pouch and he spins you round and he twists your arm up as he then starts pushing you inside the warehouse as the other guy watches and you hear, once you're inside the door, latch behind you. Joseph,
Yes.
back at the yards, you
Lovely.
you have Gerald there who is threatening to deck you one if you don't leave.
Well, if you do have any family, we'll finally ask what went wrong. Gerald, they go to the door.
As you go to the door, he relaxes a bit, just continuing to play with his fingernails.
Also, just gonna say, sorry about the rest of the gang. My condolences as I leave.
As you leave, the constable says, well, that could have gone better, but it also could have gone a hell of a lot worse.
I don't think he's violent at heart. That's just how he's been taught to do things.
Well, we'll break it out of him, and then the inspector can decide which of the 3 prisons he's going to.
And sticking with the weaker members of his gang. He needs that security, otherwise he's just going to beat up everyone in the prison he goes to.
What do you hope?
As for the other ones, I reckon solitary definitely better.
I shall pass forward your observations. Are you two ready to face the leader of this gang?
Will, got anything?
Well, I got in a sketch artist to get a description of F from Skittish One.
How's he going?
Are you ready to
In
cross?
at the sketch artist?
Sorry, what do you say, Toby?
Can I peek in at the sketch artist to see if they're nearly done or halfway through?
They're about 15% of the way through, as obviously they're getting the detail as close as they
Okay.
can, so they are taking a fair bit.
Yeah, they're going to be a while. Do we have anything else we can do while they do that, Quill?
We can just question their leader.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
Okay
go.
then.
You're gonna go and question the leader.
After you this time.
Okay, I'll head in then.
So as you do, you see him sat there, just twiddling his thumbs. You know, I could have sworn that you were gunning for me first. I heard your grubby little footsteps approaching, but instead you spoke to my lackeys. Shows how much faith you've got in me, then.
I'll cut to the chase. What do you know about F?
I know quite a bit, or I could know nothing at all. What are you gonna give me in return?
Out of game, how much can I actually, like how much power do I have?
Not a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to intimidate one of them with a item.
Yeah, you.
With torture.
As Aaron's
No,
rightfully
I
saying,
wasn't actually going to torture them. I was just going to scare them that I was going to torture them. There's a difference.
You could barter for a shorter sentence, but that's pretty much it.
Try and get them put with one other prisoner. Or not really.
You could try.
Mm.
It's all how it ends up in the end, but you can certainly lobby for a little easing if he was to cooperate.
I mean, Toby, do you wanna offer any kind of like deal, or do you want to just like threaten him with, "We will get the rest of your gang to Crag"?
I'm gonna let you keep speaking for now, because you're a lot better at this than I am.
I'm really not.
Okay. So your gang, from what I see, you are the top of the top. You have Gerald, Hugo, and the other big ones. I'm guessing they're in charge of small.
They each run their own little bit. They each keep charge of something that I hold dear. Of course, they all report to me, and I report to the big man upstairs, but that's none of your
Yes.
concern.
Is that a confirmed man now?
I can definitely say he is a man. He's a quite good man, I must say. Very understanding to us lot. Very understanding to those who see differently.
Oh.
If he is a man, then have you seen his dick?
Well, please step outside.
and that's the 4 in charisma coming in play right there.
That's out of the game.
That would have been nice to know beforehand.
Yeah, that would have been nice to confirm. It's like, yeah, just before we go in there, if he is a man, I'm gonna say this. Don't laugh.
Imagine you're actually being interrogated and these cops are playing mind games with you. And then all of a sudden, one of them looks at you dead in the eye and goes, "Have you seen Ding?"
Yeah, in Victorian times, that is a big no-no.
If you
Is it
have seen his
feeling
dick,
queer
then
in
what are
here?
your opinions on it? Anyway, let's
Well,
do
that's
the
even
actual
more of a
Yeah.
personal
Let-
question.
Let's get back to the. Let's get back
What's
to
your
the.
personal opinion on this person? Okay, please continue.
Let's get back to it.
God, what was I saying? One of your people will crack. Any guesses on who it will be?
If I have any guess, I know I'm going to be wrong. Or if I guess it's going to be used against me in that big old courthouse. So why would I wanna do anything like that? Why would I wanna rat one of my own people out? Say they're all
Who do you
lying
think's
claim.
more likely to crack? Hugo or Gerald?
They're both as tough as each other. I have no
Gerald's a
problem with
lot quieter. Hugo's just
Gerald,
actually quite pleasant to talk to.
Gerald talks to people he can trust. Hugo talks to people he wants to fight. I use both to my advantage, of course. For example,
I
if
heard about your little incident with your gold teeth.
a magnificent tale, I must say.
You mind telling it?
No.
They ate some bad biscuits.
So last time I have Garibaldi's, especially ones that were overcooked. Now, your original question is S. What?
One of your people already has cracked. We know you're dealing with him. We've decoded your messages.
Those messages aren't from me.
They are
For
for
you.
you.
Oh yeah, they're for me.
Did you hide the ciphers around, or were they just lost in the wind?
The ciphers are all up here. As he taps his head, they obviously come in when they're needed. I'm sure you understand that you can store things up in your little noggin upstairs and recall it for later time.
I'm surprised there's much going up there at all, to be honest. After that dosage, I thought you'd be out of it. Seems they knew what they were doing.
So, as I say, what are you going to give me if I give you information on this lad?
Well, as you know, you crossed the crown, which usually, hear me out, is death. No trial, it's just death. You might go to prison forever, or until they toss your bones out. You might somehow get out when you're, I don't know, 60 on the verge of death. Those muscle boys will need quite a lot to eat and rations. Do you really think they'll survive happily?
They make their own way in this world. I'll make my own way in this world. We all do it.
This world's very different from the world in jail. You may be big boys in the yard, but there are bigger boys in jail, and not to mention, I'm not sure how you fare against batons, possibly the occasional rifle.
So you're going to try and barter me a fair sentence? You know, something like 20 years? Maybe
Leader of the gang, that'll be very difficult, but
a trip to Australia?
no, not that luxurious.
Australia
I
this
can
time,
get your boy.
Australia at this time was a penal colony. It was where they
Never
sent
mind.
prisoners.
Shh, I've not history, I'm sorry. We might be able to get your right-hand man, Gerald, and maybe, but you're more of a, they need to make an example out of you to lower your sentence, usually. However, if you can tell us something that will convince us, someone, say, higher up, we might be able to sweep you under the, let you go unnoticed.
So, what you're telling me is that
You have two options. You can either sacrifice or tell us what we need. Get us a little bit closer to finding S. We'll make our way. Some of your boys get off. You maybe not. Or you can go the extra mile, help us considerably, and all of your boys get a slight kick up the ass and off you go.
Well, how does this sound? This S character, he's from a nice place, he is. A place called Munich.
Nice.
He came over here about 2 years ago. About we've been just starting. About
Okay.
maybe a few months after. I met him on a nice little job. He said he had an idea. Said that if I could get some stuff to pawn off, sell abroad, send the money his way, I kept a cut of it. I gave a cut to my boys. He could start firing up another revolution in this city.
So your hope to break the class divide and rise to the top is what got you to steal all of those cargo and threaten all of those dock people.
He saw this way this empire was going. He saw, obviously, well, he didn't see personally, but he heard about what happened over in Asia. He heard about, obviously, them wars down at the Cape, down in the colonies there. He's been keeping a large eye on everything this place has to offer. He thinks we're missing potential. He thinks them Whigs are holding too back, if you know what I mean.
They're very oppressive upper class people I've come across, and very, very few willing to be less fortunate.
I'll tell you what, the group they got in Parliament now, fuck, I need to get this right.
Trying to be politically correct Victorians. I'm not the best at it, I'll admit.
If you get something wrong, no one will know.
Victorians will roll over in their graves and come to get me.
Okay,
How do you think Victorian society would react to just Twitter?
A lot of racist Victorians agreeing, and
Right.
probably a lot of people
Badly.
coming out.
A lot of sexist jokes as well.
Yeah, but that's just Twitter in a nutshell. There's every kind of joke.
True.
Yeah. So,
Also, a lot of people who laugh at these jokes.
tell you
Sorry,
what,
Mark.
them liberals that they got in, them defunct Whigs, they know better. They're missing the purpose of this empire. We could rule the world. We took down the French, albeit we lost the colonies overseas, but we gained some more.
You know the phrase sacrifice the few for the many, right? You want to rule the world by sacrificing
Oh,
those who
I
actually
don't want to-
fight for it.
I don't want to rule the world. I want to show the world. With the help of him. He says he's in cahoots with people abroad. We can put a new monarch on. Someone who would change things.
You want to swap one tyrant with another.
A tyrant who knows what's good for the empire. A tyrant who can get this place back up to scratch.
If what you want to come around does come around, we'll be seeing a lot more heavy artillery. Not just going through our docks, but going into your houses, into our country. You're asking for war. Ones that might not survive.
Such a surprise.
Yes, you do not get to say this is not your lives you're giving up. You have one life and one life only. You have any say. And after stealing, you might have lost that right anyway. You don't know what's best for this country. You've only been in a very small corner of it. Only one level of it.
What makes you think I've been in just this city?
Have you ever been middle class?
No.
I've never been higher class either. I have, however, come from slightly lower class. One where you always look up at people and down. Just because you're upset with how you're living does not mean you can cause other people to die, especially unnecessarily for hope of change. What would you do if you went to raid a boat and half your...
Say that again, Toby?
What would you do if you went to raid a boat and half of your boys were killed?
It'd be quite a sad loss, I must say.
Now, what would you do if you took over this boat and there was, say, another gang? Would you wipe them out or would you stop there?
I'd wipe off anyone who dares oppose us.
Okay, now flip it around. You get attacked when you're in your dock. Maybe a lot less stealthy than... You've taken out half the enemy forces, lost half. What are you going to do if you manage to get the other lot to surrender?
We give them a choice. Assimilation or execution.
Now, put yourself in their shoes. You've just been decimated by a force you just attacked. Would you assimilate or would you fight to the end?
I'd fight to my last dying breath.
Do you notice how in any of these situations, a lot of life is lost? Now apply that to a country. Do you really think the upper class would say, yeah, you're sending all the lower class to their death? The aristocrats would just sit comfy at home. Even when there's a war, worst case scenario, they'll to someone, talking through little wires and signals. You are not causing a revolution, you're genocide of your own people.
Is that not what governments do when they send people off to war? Is that not what governments do when they send armies thousands and thousands of miles away, die in a desert?
They at least have experience in sacrifice, sacrificing little to gain the most. They have rules. The second you break one of those, all hell breaks loose. Do you reckon all the rich families are going to be staying in the biggest then, or do you reckon they're going to be hidden away? Do you reckon the enemies are going to bomb cities or small?
You see him turn away before. Look, I answered your.
Joseph's going to raise his voice a bit. Do you reckon they're going to go after the docks, supply line that feed the country starving, or the rich have maybe one less chicken with, or do you reckon?
I've answered your question. I've answered your question. Now leave.
This S person, they put delusions in your head. They were there when the gang was founded. Blame them for what's happening. You boys are not brothers in arms. You were moved around and left in it.
I wish for you both to leave.
What is the
Huh?
hate that S is so keen on cultivating?
He believes us working class should be a lot more represented. He saw it back home too, but he knew he could do nothing there. So what better place to start than the most powerful country on earth?
So he wants to create a divide between the lower and upper classes in the hopes that it will break out into a civil war.
Not so much that, just so much as enough insurrection that government change its mind, go back to its reactionary state. Before the civil wars, I'd like you two to leave. I have some thinking I need to do.
One last thing before I go.
I asked you to leave.
I'm just going to leave.
I'll leave as well.
Just going to flip him off through the window as I leave.
Is that really necessary?
Absolutely. Quill is having a
Great
little
way
temper
to get him
tantrum.
to change his mind.
God,
Quill is temper tantrum.
Joseph's no better than
Not
Nisa.
Joseph.
Also, if even Joseph is like, oh yeah, I can threaten him with torture, what would Nisa do in this situation?
Remember, Toby, Nisa poisoned someone because they tried to argue that the horse was theirs. They were willing to murder.
I wasn't
over a
going to
horse.
torture. I was just going to threaten torture. There's a difference. I
Right.
had a whole history lesson lined up and everything.
So, what are you two doing now?
I need to call off some steam as Joseph, so I'm going to go find a bottle.
Did you say a bottle?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because of Discord, it made it sound like a brothel.
Oh.
They probably have both, I'll be honest. A brothel will have bottles.
So you
Head to the nearest convenience store. You part with 3 shillings to get yourself a nice bottle of gin.
I'm assuming we're going back to the office or to find Anastasia.
I'ma pop into the office or something before I find Anastasia.
When we get to the office, can I be like halfway through the bottle?
make a con save.
Yeah, I was expecting this.
What do you expect? It's gin.
I
It's
can't
neat.
tell if that's cocked or left. Cocked or left? Cocked or not? Oh, just...
Yeah.
It was a 10. Is it okay if I re-roll? Or...
Yeah. If you're not sure if it's cocked, just re-roll.
Okay, that's a nat 20, but it's not cocked. I sort of feel bad about it.
That's fine. You've
Okay.
you've had your experience of drink. You're obviously being outside. It's a little different.
So you steady out the drinking as you make your way from the store back to the office. Quill, as you obviously unlock the door, you open the door. As you step inside, you hear a crunch beneath your feet.
As you look down, and you see a folded piece of paper.
I was so worried that you were gonna say I stepped on a rat.
No, I would have said you hear a squeak.
A squeak
Probably happened
followed
a
by a
few
crunch.
times.
Wait, would the squeak or the crunch come first?
Depends on how hard you're stepping. What? How do you walk through the door? How angry are you?
Anyway, the paper.
It's only folded once. It's not coded, and on it says Peckham.
How's that spelled?
Cool, even I don't know.
Letters.
Peckham.
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 Would I be able to tell which folder Anastasia took?
You can roll me a history check.
23.
So, having a look at the folders list, you do see the point in which Anastasia took the file out, and you remember one of your early cases was this rogue woman who had been in and out of prison that you compiled all the evidence for, and you recall her name was Anastasia.
Can I take a look at the backup of that folder?
Yes.
Oh no. I'm happy I got that 20 on that save. I could not do this conversation.
So reading through the backup, what do I find?
Erin,
Yes.
what would Quill see when they read through your case folder?
You would see that she has been in and out of prison, quite a lot, but only in the winter months. And this was, how old is she now?
You said she was 33. Or around that.
Hang on, let me do maths. This was 15 years ago. And she was things for drunken disorderly, petty theft, vulgar language, slapping an employee, and you will see that she was a suspect in a murder, which is all.
So that is what you see when you obviously read through the backup of the case file.
So what's the whole list of crimes?
Petty theft, vulgar language, older employee,
And drunken disorderly.
yeah, but only in the winter months.
15 years ago, so she was 18.
Give us speed noting stuff down. Either that or just start staring, comprehending everything.
Yeah, I'm noting shit down.
I love
I
this
can also,
character.
like, imagine Erin just like in the fetal position, like wondering what's going to
I'm
happen.
sorry.
Oh no, they found the file.
I'm not in the fetal position, but my knees are up and I'm like hugging my knees, so I'm technically there.
It's nearly there. Fair enough.
I'm in a good mood because I've been listening to the Mean Girls soundtrack, so I'm okay. You guys are
Oh.
talking about and I'm there just
Sorry, I
like,
was not expecting the Mean Girls to pop. Sorry.
you guys are talking about murder and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is a nice song.
Extremely tense interrogation, just listening to Arrow or something.
Yeah, because I know that I'm waiting for because she just got dragged into a blimmin' abandoned warehouse, so I was like, I need to prepare
That's
myself.
not sketchy at all.
Nope.
Why would it be sketchy?
mean-
Don't look into it.
We touched
I'm not.
into the sex
I'm not.
work
That's why I
industry.
did Mean Girls.
So I'm slightly scared of any warehouse. Last thing we need is Anastasia to be shipped off.
Is that so bad though? Now that you know what now that you know what you know.
I mean, first of all, it was like when she was 18, and second of all, she's only a suspect in a murder, and other than that, it's just minor offences. So yes, it is that bad.
You're only a suspect in murder. That's not the worst.
So drunken
You could have been a
disorderly,
confirmed
petty crime, assaulting an employee.
Mhm.
What else was it?
drunken disorder and vulgar language. Probably happened at the same time. Drunk vulgar language.
It didn't, but sure.
Oh, never mind.
She was sober. She knew what she was saying.
This isn't boding well for you in your case. It could have just said we weren't going to inside. It would have been fine.
No, but like the thing
This
you can
does.
look at is in the winter months.
So just the winter months of 15 years ago, not like
She
every
gets cranky when
winter.
it's cold, apparently.
Until let me look in my bag slowly.
The notes will tell. Past, present, and the futures.
Anyway, I'ma put that file
All
Sorry,
of
what
the
did you say?
winter months for 2 years.
for 2 years.
Mhm.
I'ma put the file back where it was before and go looking for Anastasia.
And Joseph's going with
Going
you,
to
I'm
look for
guessing.
Anastasia. Yeah.
So, whereabouts are you going? Are you going to follow the note and head down to Peckham, or are you just going to wander?
I'll
it-
head down to Packham.
Considering we can read the note, I'm guessing it's not Anastasia's handwriting.
Wow.
Oh, is it? Was it not?
Nah, but she took the file
Wow.
so she could learn to
Ow.
read.
Yeah.
I didn't like the silence that came after that. I'm sorry.
So now she must have perfect handwriting.
Yeah, God,
Yeah.
Toby.
Absolutely impeccable. I didn't think it would be this negatively received.
So, as
How
you...
dare you?
Is it the handwriting though?
It's not Anastasia's.
Okay, so you were complaining why?
Because that was mean.
I'm sorry, Anastasia. Sorry, yeah.
Apology not accepted.
Off we go. I'll find that.
So, as
No more
you,
alcohol.
as you head down through Southwark, Newington, Walworths, Camberwell, and entering Peckham, you do see the group of abandoned buildings, one of which being surrounded by horses, carts, wagons, a little annex put on the side. Both of you make me perception checks.
Oh no.
23.
14.
So you both, Joseph not so...
Wait. 16, just about. I can't math, ignore me.
So both of you, Joseph to a lesser extent, as you sort of overlook them, you see that all three of the buildings in this cluster have people walking about on higher floors.
Aren't these meant to be the ones that were shut down, Quill?
Perhaps they're working on a reconstruction?
I would have thought they would start at the bottom. Okay. Do we see any big open doors anywhere?
All the doors to these factories and workhouses are closed.
I see if any of them have like big locks on them, or have big locks on.
You don't see any with like massive padlocks on, but I think your eye would be sort of more cast towards the one that's got all the horses and carts laden around the big factory door, whereas the other two don't really have a lot going on with them.
Well, do you want to handle the big one while I snoop around the little? Can I try and snoop through the little one? Is there any way if I can see anything?
The little one?
The less fortified warehouse factory things.
You've got two.
The far left one.
Far left one, okay. As you sort of creak open the door, you hear a footstep but no more on the wooden beams above, but inside it is empty.
I'm trying to look up to see if I've been seen.
Are you going to walk in further, or are you just going to look from the doorway?
I'm just gonna look and see if I can see anything.
Perception check.
That is a 9.
Doesn't look like you've been seen.
And I use. Ooh, can I send my rat in just in case there is someone at the opening?
So you're going to send one of your rats in to scout, yeah?
Yeah,
And will they relay the information to you?
if they can. It depends on how much they're paying attention, to be honest.
Okay, so as they go in, they sort of... As a rat, because they're a rat, they're not really bothered about. They do see someone moving about, but it's not a good enough angle for them to report back.
Okay. Can I simply ask them how high does it go? How many floors?
There are 4.
So similar to the other one.
Yes.
Can I try and direct them to the office?
You, go ahead, make a survival check.
Okay. That was a 19. I was scared you were going to make me do anyway.
And you're directing him to...
The foreman's office, I think it's on the...
Yep, so you whisper down in in German, the rat, Wallace and Gromit style salutes, and runs back inside.
He's got lost, hasn't he?
No.
Okay.
Any idea what you want him to retrieve from that office? If he
Any and all paperwork they can.
So you see them. Well, you don't see them, but it's a bit of a while, and then you see them run back to you, empty-mouthed.
No paperwork, eh?
They shake their
Did
head.
you anything shiny? Keys, weapon?
They shake their head again.
What about people? Did you see any people?
It looks up to the floor, which is the 3rd floor, where the person was walking around.
How many? A lot of them or not many? So we're going to put my left hand and right hand up. Touch my left hand for not many and right hand.
It touches your left hand, specifically your index finger.
One? One person? Or is it thumb and index too?
He shakes your index finger.
One. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too important if they only have one person guarding it. Can I take a look at the other one?
The
You
other-
don't want to get into the Quill or Anastasia first.
What is Quill going to do while Joseph is investigating the 2 empty warehouses?
He's gonna go up to the main door and, like, test to see if it's locked.
It is locked. Well, all the doors are locked apart from one.
Which one is unlocked?
It is the main... Well, it's... Obviously, you've got the main factory door at the front. If you're standing in front of it, it's a small worker's door to the right.
I'll try going through the worker's door to the right.
As you open it, you are blinded by this light shining upon you, that it stumbles you back a little. As then you just hear, "Take one more step, and the girl gets it." As allowing your eyes time to adjust, you see Anastasia tied to a chair, strung from chains in the middle of this old factory.
Oh.
Is this Mr. S?
Are you asking that in or out of game?
Out of game, like, does his description match what we saw of the sketch of Mr. S?
You cannot see him.
Okay. But is it a German accent?
Yes. Specifically
Okay.
Southern German, close to Austrian.
Erin, I will not leave. If we're gonna get shot, we'll get shot together.
Yeah. We might all. What are you gonna do if you party kill us? Do you have a plan for this or no?
Don't worry, I've got a plan.
Okay.
So you see Anastasia suspended with chains above the center of the factory, a good 15 feet. You're lightly gagged, so you can still make noise, but you can't make conversation.
How well can he see me?
Not
What
very
is,
well.
Oh.
He can see where you move, but he doesn't know. Like, obviously, he can't see you that
Who you
well.
are, what you're doing.
Yeah.
When you say lightly gagged, how light is light?
So we're talking like just a bit of rope, so you can still.
Oh, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, you can still
Okay.
form some sort of legible English.
Just E out.
You have
Different-
a travel-sized light Yagame body pillow in your mouth.
Shut up.
If it, I was gonna say if it was cloth, she could like this is gonna sound really oddly sexual. She could use her tongue to push it down. Never mind.
See, if you're a rat, you could chew through it.
Just eat the rope.
Unfortunately, you're a person.
Eat the
See?
rope. How strong do you think her fluent teeth are?
I'm getting flashbacks to when when Zeta told Hazel to just eat,
Eat
the
the
long
bow.
bow.
And the table.
Yeah, I'm
I
getting
like- Alright.
flashbacks.
I really want to talk to him. I want to bargain with him.
I mean, you can attempt to.
Yeah, that's literally what it'd be. We sound. Like there is
When you're
no way.
dangling from a chair, so you can either tap in Morse code if you know it, or just sort of try and speak your best.
They barely know English, let alone Morse code.
Morse code. Morse code.
That's if
Um,
Mr. S actually pays enough attention if you did know Morse code.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to use message by writing down something on a piece of paper and sending my pigeon to send it to Joseph, would he see that?
Yes. No,
Okay.
he wouldn't, because if I'm correct, Joseph isn't actually in the building.
Yeah, he's in like the
Yeah,
nearby building.
he's a bit away, so yeah, you could do that completely obliviously.
I thought you sent it to Anastasia, but like can't read.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how's this gonna
The
work?
pigeon flies up to the chair. Just.
Yeah.
I can't fucking read.
Yeah, the pigeon
My,
just
hand,
flies.
my hands,
Just
my hands are bound, right?
yeah. Your hands and legs are bound.
Oh,
Right, so on the message, I'm a right. Main building, shit's gone down. I think it's S. Take a route other than worker door.
Can I reply?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna write on the piece of paper. You dipshit. What have you got yourself into? How many are?
I think it's just one. Don't
There's-
know though.
Just gonna reply again. There's one in one of the second one. Do you reckon you can store while I check, or do you want me to head right?
Anastasia's tied up. Take another route into main building.
Is there any windows that are like 10 feet off the floor
Yeah.
into these? So we agreed that I don't have flying.
No, it's climbing. Oh, I know exactly what you're gonna do.
Can I use Writhing Tide to gain a climbing speed of 10 feet?
Yep.
Wait, but
Can
you
I-
can normally climb like it's difficult terrain with what I assume is 15 feet.
Hold on. Is that a ranger thing? Where is this?
No, but
Or is
like
this just in
normally,
general?
unless you have a climbing speed, you climb like it's difficult terrain, or like with this
Mark, is
half.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, might.
Oh wait, no, it is a climbing speed of 10 feet. So yeah.
How fast do I move normally? 40 feet.
Wait, you have 40 feet of movement?
I do. Mark,
What?
if I used a dash and then started climbing, would it still count as difficult terrain?
Yes.
So with the mobile feat, where if you dash, difficult terrain does it cost you extra? Does that count while climbing?
I'm pretty sure it's not by raw difficult terrain. It's
It just works
you
like
need
it.
2 feet
Okay.
of movement to move 1 foot. It works the same, but it's not considered difficult terrain.
Okay. So can I climb up 20 feet to see if there's any windows?
I'd say you definitely get 10 feet. 20 feet would be a little bit of a push.
Okay. Is there any windows on 10 feet or a bit higher?
Yes, there are.
Are there any unlocked windows or open windows?
There are.
Can I try and get in one of the unlocked windows stealth?
As you spy one of the windows and you clamber on up, You side on through. You hear a shout. You all hear a gunshot, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Is Anastasia
Hey,
dead?
Yes.
I swear to God, if I'm dead.
I didn't hear any roll to hit. Worst case scenario, one of us will have to under the chair and try and soften the blows